Hello, we are going to do another quick, very quick screencast just to show you how to very quickly and efficiently crop an image to the exact specific size you might be asked for. As you can see here, I have the Disney Hall Getty image JPEG, and the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to go to Option Command I to check the image size. This one has already got a resolution of 300, which is pretty extraordinary. Oftentimes that's not true. If it did not have that resolution, you would simply make sure that resample was not clicked. You would change the resolution, and then you would assess the size. So, because that's where we are right now, we're looking at an image that is 21 inches by 14. The task at hand is to make it exactly 17 inches wide by 11 inches high. So I'm just going to say okay, because I know the resolution is at 300. And then I like to use, there's a couple ways of doing things. I tend to use the crop tool by going to C. And in the crop tool, you can see that a bracket gets put around the image. There's handles on all four corners and in the centers of the sides. And in the crop tool, you want to go up to your option bar up here. And this time, instead of it being in ratio, you're going to change it to WxHx resolution. Oftentimes, there is going to be dimensions in here that you don't want, so you want to be very careful and you want to reset it. You can reset that by just clicking on this kind of bent over arrow here to the very right-hand side of the option bar. So when you click that, it zeroes out everything. And the way this option bar setting works for WxHx resolution is that the field to the very farthest left here, but to the right of the name, is the width. It is typically the width. We're going to put in 17 because that's the width we want. The next field to the right is the height in this case, and we're going to put in 11. And then the one right next to that, which says pixels per inch, you can imagine you're going to put in 300 pixels per inch. And that's all you have to do to set it where it will absolutely, once you hit the check mark or the return button, to apply that image size. You can see, I'm checking my image size again, it is exactly 17 by 11 at 300 pixels per inch. That's what we often want to do with some of our assignments and things, is make it very specific size. Now this worked because the image was large enough to do that. If the image that you had grabbed was not large enough, you could not do this, because then you could, but it would be a bad thing, because then you are upscaling, and we don't want to do that in Photoshop. It will not print properly. Okay, so here we have it. We have not saved anything, but we have sized it. In the layer panel, I'm going to change the layer and call it Disney Hall. And I'm relabeling it. And then I'm going to right-click on the name there and scroll down to Convert to Smart Object and click Smart. And now you see it becomes a smart object. Notice what the actual kind of thumbnail of that layer, it has a new little icon in the bottom right-hand corner that tells me that it's a smart object. And now we want to mask that blue sky away. So we only make a selection and do the mask after we have made it a smart object, never before. Now you can use whatever tool you'd like to make your selection. I am going to see whether the quick selection will do it for me. I'm going to move my layer panel out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to go in there and just really carefully pick just the blue sky. It did a very, very good job, very, very quickly. Now we have selected the background. Remember that if you want to conceal the background, you have to actually invert the selection so that you are revealing the subject you want, in this case Disney Hall. So you would go up to Select to Inverse, or you could go to Control or Command Shift I does the same thing. So Command-Shift-I, very good keyboard shortcut to know. Once you see what you've got, you're going to go back to your layer panel. You're going to click on the mask button right next to the FX. Click on it, and there we go. We have very quickly masked out the background sky of Disney Hall. You can see the mask is on the right-hand side. It is simply black and white. The white is revealing the building. The black is concealing the sky. That's the way to think about it. And once we've got this, we want to actually bring this over onto a brand new blank document. So I'm going to go to Command-N or Control-N. I like to go over here, and already I have, strangely enough, I've gotten the settings I need, which is 17 inches by 11 inches. Remember to always check inches before you make any changes here. The resolution is 300, RGB color, we're good to go. I'm going to say Create with that button on the bottom. And we have just a very basic blank document. We call this in this class oftentimes a host document, which doesn't mean anything other than it is a blank document that will host all the different smart object images that we're going to bring in here that will become your composite multi-layered assignment file. So the way I like to do this, and when I do this you're going to see that I have an assignment sample on the left-hand side, but I like to go to Window, down to Arrange, Tile All Vertically, and in this case, because I actually have 3 tabs, you're going to see what's going to happen. That was my sample to show you. Now, one thing to know, if you're doing this and you've got a lot of things up, you can pull your kind of windows over bigger and smaller as you wish. Remember that however many you have, when you click on them, the tab up at the top is going to make a slight change in color. So I'm here in the Disney Hall image in the middle, and I know I'm also in Disney Hall because I can see from my layers panel that I'm there. I have clicked on the layer itself. I've gone to the Move tool to get out of any kind of selection tool, and I'm taking my cursor right in the middle of the image, and I'm dragging it all the way over to our untitled #1 window, and I just let go. Now I'm going to go to Window, Arrange, and consolidate it all back to just tabs. And now I can simply position my file, which is exactly the same size as the file, and there we go. Now, if you find it difficult to position something, I'm going to pull it out again so that it's off. And I want to make sure that I'm going to view, and I do not have it on, so this is why I didn't see the little pink lines. You want to have snap to guides, and you also want to have show, you want to have the smart guides on. And I'm not seeing them, which is, oh, there we go. So there's show smart guides. Mine were on. I just didn't see them, but they will really help you usually where you can see exactly, it'll snap. See that little pink line? I'm not sure you're going to get it in the video, but there's some just magenta lines that tell you that you're right in the right position, and that's how we move a smart object from one document to another. Notice the layer mask is existing on our untitled document. If I went back to, so this is this file, and you would just continue to generate and add more images. Hope that helps. That's just your basic. Here we go.